3 rounds of discussion with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first from a Zoom call in Columbia, South Carolina, Matthew, aka the Unbreakable Spirit. And his opponent from a Zoom call in Atlanta, Georgia, Daniel, aka the Executioner. Take it away, Matthew.
Thank you, Jesse, for that wonderful introduction. Hello, everyone. This is episode number 102 of At Odds with the Unbreakable Spirit.
And the Executioner, Daniel Travis.
Yeah, I am Matthew Smith, aka the Unbreakable Spirit. Why don't we run through the topics?
Yeah, topic number 1.
Apparently, Triple H has full creative control.
Number 2.
Who should fight Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40? Cody Rhodes or The Rock?
Number 3. Results.
The results of Fastlane. But I'm going to hop into topic 1 right now. So, I will admit, these are just rumors.
Oh, but if it is...
But allegedly, Vince McMahon is stepping back from creative. Partially because he doesn't have so much power anymore.
I mean, before you say your take, my honest take is, I think that would be good for WWE, that they, that people that maybe don't really get a chance to become stars can get a chance that under the Vince McMahon creative would have not got a chance to become stars.
Yeah, like if only Dolph Ziggler hadn't been released.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, what's your thoughts?
It's great. Like, no wonder Raw was so good.
Yes. Okay, because honestly, if it is true, then it is creative that Triple H is in charge is a lot of the storylines, and I think that that this will also help the women's division on the main roster. However, the only thing I think would help them more is more titles instead of just one.
Yeah.
That's
fair.
You got the timer going.
Dude, we've been doing this for 102 episodes. You really think I would forget to start the timer?
Yes.
Okay, admittedly that was a problem for a while because
our
producer left. And then there was that one time I accidentally paused the timer.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, but what are your thoughts on this?
I am excited to see the storylines that Triple H is going to come up with.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with the new, Endeavor deal and, just imagine the stuff he can come up with.
Yeah,
Imagine what he's going to do with Jade Cargill.
That is also true. If Jade Cargill wasn't a star beforehand, if Triple H knows how to if there's one thing Triple H knows how to do, is he knows if you were a star in someone else's company, he still knows how to make you a bigger star in another company.
Yeah, and with WWE being the biggest potentially the biggest wrestling company in the world, I'm not even sure if Superstar fits anymore. But that's a topic for another time.
Megastar?
I would say Ultra Star or something.
Okay, but one of my biggest takeaways from Triple H being creative is I think that we'll get a lot more people from because I think that it will also help the people. My big question is this, is that if you're someone who, let's say you go through NXT and you have 0 championships throughout your entire time down there in NXT. Would that help or would that hurt you under the Triple H creative?
I don't I don't think it would make a difference. Like, in all honesty, because Triple H, he was a guy who has taken the bumps in the ring and busted his ass in the ring and quads to put on a good show. And he understands what you're going through. And, like, yeah, Triple H has some terrible characters like Terra Rising, Jean Paul Levesque, and stuff like that. It doesn't really matter. But he understands that you are doing your best, and I think Triple H would even be able to find something for someone like James Ellsworth to do.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Because well, I guess putting in your best effort is, I guess, great, but like doing your best sometimes is like I get because what am I saying is that I think that having everyone deserving a chance maybe because I think with Triple H under creative control, I think that the mid-card championships will be a lot more important under the Triple H regime.
As long as they don't get unified into a global championship.
True. But you got any thoughts? The floor is yours.
Triple H has a very keen eye for the business. And with Vince sort of taking a step back and letting Triple H happen, like when we learned Triple H was staying on as head of creative after the Endeavor deal, like I was worried Vince didn't really comprehend the magnitude of this deal and didn't realize he was going to lose some power. But now that he's stepping back and sort of realizes Triple H is probably the best guy to be in creative, and with this, like, at least until Vince tries to stonewall his way and realizes he can't do shit, Triple H is the best guy to be in control of creative. But we'll be right back with topic number 2.
Hello, everybody. We are back with topic number 2. Should Roman Reigns face the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, at WrestleMania 40, or should it be on that one random episode of SmackDown, The Rock returning?
Now, I actually thought about this before I went to sleep last night, and I realized there's a third option when you think about it.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Why not both?
No.
WrestleMania is a 2-night event this year.
Yeah.
You can find The Rock on night 1, Cody on night 2.
That's not the topic. But you're right.
So you have to admit it's not.
Yeah, it's possible for sure, yes. But one could just go to the women. Anyway, let's just focus on what the topic is. But you're right. In my honest opinion, hot take right out of the gate. While I very much would like to see Cody Rhodes finish the story, until this whole writer's strike is unreserved. Plus, they kind of already have set up maybe they've kind of already set up the Roman Reigns Rock rivalry in motion because of Paul Heyman talking to Ava.
Ava is trying to make a name for herself. She's not going by the Pebble, and she's not going by Simone Johnson.
But still, I'm just saying, if she joins the bloodline, because with that thing on NXT, that could be the seed to the Roman Reigns Rock feud.
You're right. It could.
And I also here's my major take. While I would very much, like I said, love to see Cody Rhodes finish the story, whatever the fuck that is, I think until this writer's strike is the actors and writers the actor strike is done, I think that you're only gonna get one fucking chance to use The Rock. Only one. You're not gonna have another chance. And if Endeavor truly wants a big marquee money match for their first WrestleMania, and it also being the 40th anniversary, you're gonna go with a bigger name and probably go with The Rock.
I mean, to be fair, the Roman numerals for 40 XL do happen to be the same letters that abbreviate extra large. So
What does that have to do with anything?
you said big name, so
Yeah, okay. But that's my point, is that, don't get me wrong, doing the whole double nine thing would be interesting. I cannot argue with that. But that also leaves with one fucking problem that I thought I'd bring up. Is
What?
that with Roman Reigns just carrying around one title and not two titles, you can't really have him defend two different championships.
Well, that's because the titles got merged.
Right. But what's your take on this shit? Take it away.
My take is that Roman has been the guy. I almost forgot what he called himself for a while. For WrestleMania will be like what, 4 years, something like that.
It'll be going on the 4-year mark of his title reign, yes.
Of him unifying the titles, which in my perspective was a stupid move.
Yeah. Anyway, no.
And there's only one person I feel like can sort of shrink the tribal chief down to size, and it's Dwayne Johnson. Like, they don't have to fight over the title or anything. They can fight for the honor of the Anoa'i bloodline. Because before Roman was the tribal chief, you know it had to be Dwayne.
Yes, but that is true. Because look, don't get me wrong. Well, Cody Rhodes doing it, getting a whole sort of redemption arc thing would be nice. I personally don't really. While it would be nice to see Cody Rhodes defeat Roman Reigns, I also feel like Cody Rhodes has, he's had his time in the spotlight. He had his chance. Well, and yes, him winning a world title would be nice. I just don't know if Cody can handle that big of a thing. And to be honest, I would love, don't get me wrong, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes 2 sounds like a great match. With all the shit that's been going on in the bloodline, sounds like it would be an interesting match. But with The Rock, there's a lot more story to tell. With The Rock being involved, yes, you could have his daughter be involved. You could have it be for the True, the championship doesn't need to be involved. I will admit that. But with Roman Reigns, it probably would just be I think that if The Rock were to have his final match, and you really, truly were to make Roman Reigns a really, really, really despised heel, have him retire The Rock.
Yeah.
And you talk about, we've talked about this, but if he thinks being booed out of the building by defeating The Undertaker would be loud, imagine how loud the boos would be if he defeated the Great One.
Yeah. Then he truly would be the only one on the island of relevancy.
That's like I said, that's my take. Again, I would love to see Cody Rhodes do it, but if you're gonna have a big money match, and if The Rock is gonna come back again until this writer strike is over, I suggest you go The Rock. Well, that's just my take.
Yeah, so you guys probably heard the timer went off. We're about to reveal the results of the Fastlane prediction battle. There we go. We are back with the final topic, which I'm not going to time because this always goes over our time limit whenever we do one of these, and we have to
Yep.
do 2 next month.
Yep.
Prediction battle results. This Fastlane event was okay. Like, it wasn't the best, wasn't the worst. It was just kind of in the middle. So I'm going to go in order we predicted. First off, the main, which was the main event of the pay-per-view, but the first one we predicted. The World Heavyweight Championship last man standing between Seth freaking Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura. That match was insane. Like, it's hard to describe a
Violence,
carnage.
chaos. Yeah.
And what is it with Japanese wrestlers and using the poison mist? Like, seriously.
I mean, hey, thank the Great Muda for that shit.
Yeah. Now we have both Asuka and Shinsuke using it. Lovely.
I mean, my honest take is I saw the bit end of that match was just you're honestly didn't telling me that I know Rhea Ripley took away Damian Priest's money in the bank, which is really the Judgment Day is the honest question.
No, it's not. It's Damien.
Oh. No, I know. I mean, like, I was asking, like, who's the leader of the Judgment Day? That's the question.
It seems like it's Mommy.
Yeah, but anyway, what I think WWE should have done is, and this is just my opinion here, I think Damien should have been like, okay, McDonough, go prove your loyalty to the Judgment Day and take out Seth Rollins. Have him beat the out of Seth Rollins. Because, I mean, like, you're going to tell me that someone has the money in the bank, goes through hell in a last minute standing match, and the person with the briefcase doesn't cash in.
We even put a bonus point on the line for if he cashed in, and he didn't.
Which, like I said,
I was like complaining on my Twitch stream that he should have cashed in.
Yeah, but anyway, it did. And who won this match?
Seth Rollins was able to defeat Shinsuke Nakamura, giving me my first point.
And I actually have something that I want to get off my chest, and that is, while I like this rivalry between him and Seth Nakamura and Seth Rollins, my question is, what is the point of having Nakamura lose twice on pay-per-view?
What's the point of this rivalry if he's gonna keep taking those L's?
Exactly. Moving on.
All right, the next match was the team of John Cena and LA Knight.
Yeah.
Taking on the Bloodline, represented by Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa.
How was that match?
It was good. Like, it just seemed weird, like, especially with the outcome of the match, SmackDown's not going to be good for Jimmy Uso tomorrow.
Why is that?
The Bloodline lost.
Yeah, but it also does raise a question. What happened last week? And what is the deal with the bloodline and the Judgment Day?
Or Imperium in the bloodline.
Is because if that's a because I just want to say this: if War Games is coming back and that is a team, everybody's fucked.
I think that would be too big because isn't like so the traditional Survivor Series, which is now War Games 5-on-5?
Who cares?
You mean aside from the fact that that team would be like at least 9-on-5?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. What's the next match?
Oh, and also that gave me another point. The next one is the WWE Undisputed Women's Championship, which they're just calling the Women's Championship, which I'm kind of thankful for because Undisputed Women's is very long, even though it says Undisputed on the championship.
Yeah.
Triple threat match also. Io Sky versus Asuka versus Charlotte.
You said that there was some controversy. Tell the
Yeah,
audience. Kind of.
there was controversy.
Okay. What? Tell.
So Charlotte had the figure eight locked in. Earlier that night, Io had told Bailey to stay backstage. She's got this. Bailey obviously ignored that and came out and distracted the ref. While the ref was distracted, Asuka tapped out. The ref didn't see it, so technically Charlotte should have been the
15-time.
yeah, Jesus Christ, 15-time women's champion. But the ref didn't see it, so the match continued. Io hit a moonsault. 1, 2, 3. Io retains.
My guess for the next, for either our Crown Jewel or our Survivor Series, is we are going to get Charlotte versus Io Sky.
Yeah.
Who
But
won? got the- you
Io
did.
Sky won, which means I get a third point.
No! Next.
The next match is the six-man tag. The LWO and Carlito
Yes.
versus the Almighty Prophets. Carlito
Yeah.
was a
Late to the-
surprise, but also like you kind of had a feeling who would Rey Mysterio call for help?
Yeah.
And like if Carlito should keep making these one-off appearances, just sign him to a Legends contract already.
About that, he's already resigned, and apparently he's going to be at SmackDown going forward.
So he's like full-time or something?
Yeah, going to be I think going to be full-time on SmackDown.
About damn time.
Anyway, next. Who won this one, by the way?
Me again.
Fuck.
The final match we predicted was for the undisputed unified tag team titles. The main event Nightmares versus Judgment Day. This match actually was the start of the show, I believe. In fact, we might have just done in like reverse order, but whatever. It was a good match. I mean, JD kind of cost the Judgment Day the titles by accidentally hitting Damien with his own briefcase.
Ow. And yeah, I lost. Basically.
In a clean sweep.
Which hasn't happened in a while.
Yeah.
So,
Now,
what is...
I've been
you
debating... right.
Punishment.
Yeah.
You forgot to tell the...
Yeah, so the punishment is the loser has to watch a horror movie of the winner's choice. Now, I've been debating between two options.
Just
One
'cause
that can make me a dick. One that can make that can make me a huge dick. And one that can make me much less of a dick.
just pick one.
Alright, I hope you enjoyed the very first Paranormal Activity, because if I did the other one, you'd literally have to watch it like today or tomorrow.
Alright, thank you all for coming. Roll that outro.
Yeah, we'll be back next week.
Roll that
Roll
outro.
that outro. Thank you for listening to At Odds, hosted by the Unbreakable Spirit,
And the executioner.
edited by the Unbreakable Spirit. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at MTS_life_0126.
You can follow me on Instagram at DanTravis21, and you can also follow me on the Twitter at DanTheExecutioner21.
And you can follow the podcast at Odds Podcast. We'll be back next week with more debates and discussions. But until then, the Executioner and the Unbreakable Spirit will still be at odds.
Thank you, losers.